A TikTok user has called on politicians to stop trying to appear relatable in the lead up to elections and instead focus on acknowledging their privilege and addressing real issues faced by the public. Posting under the username Fruhaha, the user said she hoped politicians would one day realize they are not like us, and that's totally fine. She pointed out how, during every election season, political figures often attempt to connect with citizens by sharing nostalgic personal stories and humble beginnings. It feels like everybody has the same childhood, she said. We all played soccer at the void deck. We all came from humble beginnings. Our parents were all taxi drivers. But such messaging, she argued, only ends up reminding the public of the socio-economic gap that still exists. All you've done really is remind us that there is a socio-economic ladder. You managed to climb up, and we're still down here. She clarified that having wealth, privilege, or a strong educational background is not inherently problematic. Listen, it's not a crime to be rich. It's not a crime to be highly educated. It's not a crime to be privileged. What we want is for you to acknowledge it. Rather than perform relatability, she urged politicians to focus on substance. Tell us how you're going to help us. Tell us how you're going to solve our day-to-day problems, and then show us that you've done so over the last 4 years, and that you will continue to do so when you get elected. Since being posted, her video has garnered over 134,000 views and struck a chord with many Singaporeans online, who echoed her sentiments about political sincerity and the need for action over image.
Listen, it's not a crime to be rich. It's not a crime to be highly educated. It's not a crime to be privileged. What we want is for you to acknowledge it and then tell us how you're going to help us.
A recent Instagram reel by the Independent SG reinforces the sentiments expressed by the TikTok user, who criticized politicians for repeatedly trying to appear relatable during elections. In the video, several politicians from the ruling People's Action Party share personal stories about their humble beginnings, often repeating similar lines such as, "I did not come from a well-off family," and "I was born in a humble family." Some spoke about helping their mothers make ends meet, while others emphasized that their parents had no formal education or worked modest jobs such as taxi drivers, teachers, or nurses. While these stories are intended to build a connection with voters, they also reflect the TikTokers' concern that such narratives have become formulaic and may no longer resonate with the public, who are now more interested in concrete plans and solutions than background stories.
My parents, like many in their generation, did not have much formal
I
education.
was born in a humble family with parents who did not have many formal years of education.
Under the TikTok video, many netizens expressed strong support for the user's message, praising them for speaking up and voicing what many have long felt. One user remarked that the strategy of trying to appear relatable during elections felt outdated, calling it an 80s strategy that no longer resonates with today's voters. Another noted that more young people are now daring to call out the government, emphasizing the need for politicians to be transparent about how they plan to solve everyday problems. There was also criticism of how politicians tend to change their tone after being elected. One commenter pointed out that while politicians often portray themselves as ordinary citizens during campaign season, they suddenly become more intelligent and dismissive once in power, especially when the public expresses disagreement. Another user echoed this sentiment, saying that before elections, politicians often claim, "We are like you, we listen to you." But after the elections, prices rise while daily struggles remain unaddressed. Others noted that politicians tend to only appear when elections are near, and seem to disappear once the voting is over. Some comments expressed that what they truly want from politicians are clear plans and real solutions, not personal backstories or attempts to appear relatable. One user wrote, "At this point, I'm not even salty that they have high salaries. I just ask that they do their job well and understand the struggle, so they can put sustainable policies in place that actually work." Another comment added that voters need leaders who are honest, morally upright, and genuinely care about the people's well-being, not those who raise taxes, fees, and the cost of living, while enforcing unfair laws and policies.